we're going to be talking making suggestions. Okay, so why are we talking about making suggestions? Well, because of coronavirus, everyone is trapped or stuck in their homes. So we need to think of some suggestions to make to fill our time. How to fill your time during the coronavirus crisis. So, making suggestions. So, coronavirus has arrived and we are in quarantine or lockdown. Okay? So, we can't leave the house and we must stay inside. We can't leave the house for any normal activities. So, we can't go to the shopping centre, we can't go to the cinema, we can't go to a bar, we can't meet our friends. All of these activities are prohibited. We must stay inside, or we can only go outside. We can only leave the house for essentials, essential activities such as buying food, taking the dog for a walk, these sort of activities. So maybe because of this, like this man here, it's easy to get bored, to feel very bored during the quarantine. Okay? So, we can make suggestions of activities, of things to do to pass the time whilst we're in quarantine. Okay? So, maybe if your brother or sister or parents, if they look a bit bored, if they look like this man, then you can make a suggestion to help them think of an idea, of an activity, something to do to pass the time. Okay, so how do we make suggestions? There are probably four main ways of making suggestions, okay? Four structures that we use to make a suggestion. Here they are. 1. Let's. 2. Why don't you? Or why don't we? Depends if you're talking to just the person or you include yourself in the activity. So why don't you? Or why don't we? 3. How about with ing? Or similar, number 4, what about with ing? Okay, let's take a look at each one. So, how to make suggestions using let's. Let's is an abbreviation of let us. It's used to propose an activity for multiple people. So not just one person, more than one person, including the speaker. So if I say let's do something, it means me and you, and maybe more people. It is usually followed by an exclamation mark. Let's look at an example. Let's watch a movie. Let's play a game. Okay, you'll notice the verb that follows let's is always in the infinitive. Let's play a game. Let's watch a movie. Okay? So, make a pause. You've got 2 minutes to think of 2 or 3 more examples using Let's. Okay. Next one, number 2. Why don't you or why don't we? Is another way of making a suggestion for an activity or an idea. This can be for one person, so why don't you, talking to the person, you, or for multiple people, such as we, including the speaker and the person, the subject. So here's some examples. Why don't we play that game that you like? Or why don't you call your grandmother? Okay, again, make a pause, 2 minutes. I want you to think of 2 more examples using why don't we or why don't you? Okay, 3 and 4, we'll look at these together because they're very similar. How about or what about? So how about or what about are our final 2 ways of making a suggestion. Must be followed by a verb in the ing form. You've seen this before with present continuous, for example. I am speaking English. Okay, so we'll see here some examples. How about watching a movie? What about cooking some food? Okay, make another pause, 2 minutes. I want you to think of 2 more examples. Write down these examples using how about plus verb in ing or what about plus verb in ing. Okay, let's move on to the main activity for the class. So you'll see some phrases and I want you to respond with a suggestion. For example, I'm bored, I don't know what to do. You can suggest anything. So here are the phrases. I want you to think of a response. So I'm bored, I don't know what to do. I want to do something exciting. So with your suggestion, you have to suggest something exciting. Exciting. I want to do something interesting. I want to do something relaxing. I want to learn a new skill. You all know this word, skill? Habilidad. I want to do something physical. Or I want to make some food. So you have 5 minutes or maybe longer to complete. Make a pause in the video and complete the suggestions for each phrase. So you have 7 in total. Okay, let's look at some examples for solutions. Maybe they're not the same as your examples, your solutions, but it's to give you an idea. Okay. So, I'm bored. I don't know what to do. Why don't you call your friends? I want to do something exciting. Why don't we do some dancing? I want to do something interesting. Let's read our new books. I want to do something relaxing. How about watching a movie? I want to learn a new skill. What about learning to play piano? I want to do something physical. Why don't you walk the dog? Or take the dog for a walk? Or I want to make some food. Let's make a cake. It's my birthday tomorrow. Okay, so I hope this presentation gives you some understanding of how to make suggestions in activities in English, and it will help you all be a little less bored during the coronavirus quarantine. So thanks for listening.